50 Life Lessons from Nelson Mandela. Lesson 1. Extraordinary from Humble Beginnings. Nelson Mandela was born in a small village called Mveso in South Africa. Growing up in a rural community taught him simplicity, respect, and the value of family. His humble beginning shows us that greatness does not require privilege, only character, courage, and a heart willing to learn and grow. Lesson 2. Education as a weapon. Mandela believed that education was the most powerful tool to change the world. He studied law and absorbed knowledge wherever he could. Even in difficult times, he kept learning. His life reminds us that education builds freedom, confidence, and the ability to fight injustice with wisdom, not anger. Lesson 3. Don't accept injustice. As a young man, Mandela witnessed the cruelty of apartheid, laws that separated people by race. Instead of accepting it, he questioned it. That moment awakened his desire for justice. It teaches us that change begins when we dare to say, "This is wrong, and I must do something." Lesson 4. Choosing courage. Mandela knew that fighting apartheid would bring danger, arrest, and imprisonment. Yet he chose courage over comfort. Courage for him was not the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite fear. His example teaches us that bravery grows with purpose, integrity, and a belief in what is right. Lesson 5. Desire to fight peacefully rather than using violence. Although Mandela later supported armed struggle, his heart always leaned toward peaceful resistance. He admired leaders like Gandhi and valued dialogue over violence. His life shows that peaceful change is slow but powerful. Peaceful efforts create deeper, more lasting transformation than solutions born from anger and destruction. Lesson 6. Love for freedom. Mandela said that true freedom is not only escaping your own chains, but also respecting the freedom of others. He fought not just for Black South Africans, but for all people. His idea of freedom teaches us to protect human dignity, fairness, and equality, never just our own interests. Lesson 7. Willingness to sacrifice. Mandela willingly risked his career, safety, and even his life for justice. When sentenced to life imprisonment, he remained calm. His sacrifice reminds us that meaningful goals require commitment. When we stand for something bigger than ourselves, we discover strength we never knew we had. Lesson 8. Strength in prison. Mandela spent 27 years in prison, doing hard labor and living in harsh conditions. Yet he never surrendered his hope. He read books, exercised daily, and stayed mentally strong. His years in prison teach us that adversity can imprison the body, but cannot imprison a disciplined, determined mind. Lesson 9. Power of patience change did not come quickly. Mandela waited decades for freedom, yet he never gave up. Patience was his greatest strength. His life teaches us that meaningful progress takes time. Patience is not passive. It is active endurance, steady preparation, and the faith that perseverance leads to a better future. Lesson 10. Discipline creates freedom. In prison, Mandela created strict routines: reading, writing, exercising, and reflecting. This discipline protected his spirit. It reminds us that discipline creates inner freedom. When we control our habits, we shape our future. When we control nothing, the world controls us. Lesson 11. Respecting everyone. Even in prison, Mandela treated guards and fellow prisoners with respect. His kindness disarmed hostility. He believed respect builds trust and breaks barriers. This teaches us that treating people with dignity, even those who oppose us, can turn enemies into partners and conflict into conversation. Lesson 12. Leadership through listening. Mandela was a leader who listened more than he spoke. He paid attention to the fears and dreams of others. His leadership shows that listening builds unity, reduces conflict, and helps people feel valued. True leaders understand before they act and inspire through empathy, not authority. Lesson 13. Forgiveness as power. When finally released, Mandela chose forgiveness instead of revenge. This decision saved South Africa from civil war. His life teaches us that forgiveness is not weakness, but strength. It frees us from anger and allows healing to begin. Forgiveness transforms pain into purpose. Lesson 14. Commitment to unity. Mandela believed a divided nation could not survive. He encouraged Black and white South Africans to walk together into a new future. His commitment to unity teaches us that healing requires cooperation, understanding, and shared responsibility. Unity is never easy, but it builds peace. Lesson 15. Humility in leadership. Even as president, Mandela remained humble. He preferred simple clothes, warm smiles, and direct conversations. He never saw himself as superior. His humility teaches us that leadership is service, not status. Leaders earn respect by lifting others, not by standing above them. Lesson 16. Hope as a daily practice. Mandela treated hope like a daily habit. Even in isolation, he reminded himself that darkness is temporary. Hope for him was an active choice. This teaches us that hope is not naive. It is a discipline that strengthens our mind and keeps our purpose alive. Lesson 17. The value of self-control. Mandela learned early that controlling emotions was essential. He refused to let anger guide his decisions. His calmness under pressure inspired millions. His life shows that self-control is not suppression. It is wisdom, maturity, and the ability to shape outcomes with clarity instead of impulse. Lesson 18. Turning pain into purpose. Every challenge Mandela faced, racism, prison, loss, became fuel for his mission. He transformed suffering into determination. His example teaches us that pain does not have to break us. When we give pain a purpose, it becomes a teacher that sharpens our character and deepens our compassion. Lesson 19. Equality as a universal right. Mandela believed equality was not a political idea, but a human truth. He fought for equal rights regardless of race, status, or background. His lesson is simple. Society thrives when everyone has dignity. Equality creates peace, opportunity, and a world where all voices matter. Lesson 20. See humanity in everyone. Mandela practiced seeing the humanity even in people who treated him cruelly. He believed that recognizing shared humanity softens judgment and opens doors to change. His life teaches us that compassion is powerful. It restores dignity and helps us rise above hatred and division. Lesson 21. Hard work builds character. Mandela embraced hard labor in prison as part of his growth. He used every challenge to strengthen his discipline. His life shows that hard work builds character, resilience, and self-respect. When we work with purpose, even the most difficult tasks become meaningful steps toward our goals. Lesson 22. Humor as healing. Mandela often used humor to ease tension and connect with people. He believed laughter united people and softened pain. His example teaches us that humor is not escapism, it is resilience. A light heart helps us survive heavy moments and reminds us of our shared humanity. Lesson 23. Adaptability in changing times. Mandela understood that strategies must evolve. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. His ability to adapt without abandoning his values made him an effective leader. His life teaches us that flexibility is not weakness, it is awareness, intelligence, and the willingness to grow. Lesson 24. The power of personal integrity. Mandela lived with honesty and consistency. Even when no one was watching, he acted according to his values. Integrity gave him credibility. His example teaches us that integrity builds trust, shapes reputation, and gives our life meaning beyond success or failure. Lesson 25. Faith in the next generation. Mandela believed that young people carried the future. He encouraged them to study, dream, and lead. His message teaches us that mentoring the next generation is essential. When we empower youth, we invest in a future that is wiser, freer, and more compassionate. Lesson 26. Creating change through dialogue. Mandela valued conversations over confrontation. He believed real change happened when people sat down, listened, and understood each other. His life teaches us that dialogue builds bridges, reduces conflict, and helps transform enemies into partners on the path to peace. Lesson 27. The beauty of diversity. He celebrated South Africa's diverse cultures, languages, and traditions. Mandela believed that diversity was a strength, not a threat. His example teaches us to appreciate differences, learn from them, and build communities where every identity is respected and valued. Lesson 28. Stand firm in your beliefs. Mandela refused to compromise on fundamental principles like equality and justice. His firmness gave people confidence. His example teaches us that a strong moral foundation is essential. When we stand firm in what is right, we inspire others to stand with us. Lesson 29. Build bridges, not walls. Mandela constantly worked to unite divided groups. He believed walls create fear, but bridges create understanding. His life teaches us that building bridges requires patience, empathy, and courage, but it leads to healing, connection, and long-term peace. Lesson 30. Take responsibility for your actions. Mandela admitted his mistakes openly. He believed accountability was essential for leadership. His example teaches us that responsibility earns respect. When we admit errors and correct them, we grow stronger and inspire others to be honest and courageous. Lesson 31. Lead by example. Mandela never asked people to do something he would not do himself. His actions reflected his words. His life teaches us that leadership is demonstrated, not declared. When we lead by example, we motivate others through authenticity and integrity. Lesson 32. Stay humble in success. After becoming president, Mandela remained simple, approachable, and grounded. He never let success change his character. His lesson: success should be carried with humility. When we stay humble, we stay connected to people, to purpose, and to what truly matters. Lesson 33. Use your voice for good. Mandela used his voice to defend those who could not speak for themselves. He spoke with clarity and compassion. His example teaches us that words matter. When we use our voice for justice, kindness, and truth, we influence hearts and shape a better world. Lesson 34. Focus on solutions, not blame. Mandela avoided blaming others. He focused on solving problems and creating a better future. His life teaches us that solution-focused thinking builds progress. Blame keeps us stuck in the past, but solutions move us forward with purpose and unity. Lesson 35. Embrace lifelong learning. Even in old age, Mandela continued reading and learning about the world. His curiosity never faded. His life teaches us that learning keeps the mind alive and the spirit open. Lifelong learning helps us stay relevant, wise, and connected to the future. Lesson 36. Serve with compassion. Mandela believed leadership was service. He tried to ease suffering, unite communities, and uplift the poor. His example teaches us that true service comes from compassion, seeing the needs of others and acting with kindness, respect, and generosity. Lesson 37. Build trust through consistency. People trusted Mandela because he was consistent, steady in values and clear in purpose. His lesson: trust is built slowly through repeated honesty and fairness. Consistency creates reliability, and reliability creates strong, lasting relationships. Lesson 38. Rise after every failure. Mandela faced setbacks, betrayals, and disappointments, but he always rose again. His life teaches us that failure is not the end. It is part of the journey. Each time we rise, we become wiser, stronger, and more prepared for the road ahead. Lesson 39. Protect your inner peace. Despite turmoil, Mandela nurtured inner calm through reflection and discipline. His peace allowed him to think clearly. His example teaches us that inner peace is a powerful anchor. When we protect our mind, we face chaos with strength and clarity. Lesson 40. Treat others with dignity. Mandela believed everyone deserves dignity, friend, stranger, or opponent. He treated all with respect. His lesson: dignity strengthens relationships and creates harmony. When we uplift others, we uplift ourselves and contribute to a more compassionate world. Lesson 41. Stay loyal to your mission. Mandela never abandoned his mission of equality, even when pressured, threatened, or isolated. His loyalty to justice teaches us that great missions require long-term devotion. When our mission is clear, obstacles become stepping stones rather than barriers. Lesson 42. Encourage people to believe in themselves. Mandela empowered people by reminding them of their worth and abilities. His encouragement helped South Africans imagine a better future. His lesson: when we help others believe in themselves, we unlock their potential and strengthen entire communities. Lesson 43. Face challenges with optimism. Mandela approached challenges with faith in a brighter future. His optimism was practical, not blind. It gave people courage. His example teaches us that optimism transforms fear into strength. When we expect good things, we create the conditions for progress. Lesson 44. Build peace. Through understanding, Mandela worked to understand the fears and hopes of every group in South Africa. Understanding reduced hatred. His life teaches us that peace begins with empathy. When we try to understand others, conflict softens and cooperation becomes possible. Lesson 45. Change yourself. First, Mandela believed personal change was the beginning of societal change. He improved himself every day. His example teaches us to look inward before demanding change from others. When we grow, the world around us begins to grow too. Lesson 46. Inspire through kindness. Mandela had a gentle, warm way of connecting with people. His kindness inspired loyalty and trust. His lesson: Kindness is a quiet power. It influences without force and creates relationships built on respect, not fear. Lesson 47. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Mandela knew South Africa would not change overnight. He celebrated every step forward. His example teaches us to recognize progress, however small. When we acknowledge improvement, we stay motivated and continue moving toward long-term goals. Lesson 48. Love your people. Deeply, Mandela loved his country and its people with all his heart. This love guided every decision he made. His life teaches us that genuine love, steady, patient, and unwavering, can heal wounds, build nations, and inspire generations. Lesson 49. Leave a legacy of hope. Mandela wanted future generations to inherit a country filled with hope and opportunity. He worked tirelessly to build that future. His lesson: our actions today shape the lives of tomorrow. A legacy of hope is the greatest gift we can give the world. Lesson 50. Believe that change is possible. Mandela's entire life proved that change, real, deep, transformative change, is possible. Even when the world doubted, he believed. His final lesson: never underestimate the power of persistence, compassion, and courage. Change begins with one person who refuses to give up.